What's up, guys? Drew Dillon from Project Lift, and on this week's video, we're going to look at how do we bulletproof our bodies for the sport of Olympic weightlifting. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so looking at bulletproofing the body for weightlifting, there's one thing I really want to touch on, and that is the culture in weightlifting, the culture in the gym at times. And one thing in weightlifting we hear all the time is that's just the nature of the sport. Right? These pains, these aches. You know, I've even seen coaches celebrate where someone sneezes and they pull a muscle in their back, and that's you're doing good. That happens when you train weightlifting. And in my belief, that's overused. It's overused quite a bit. And you look in the culture around no pain, no gain, or even striving for the feeling of pain while we're training to show that we've done something. And in my opinion, again, that is immature. That is immature training. It means you don't know what you're really aiming for, and you haven't had a deep level of technical coaching. So if you're sick of these aches and pains, and you want to increase the longevity of your training in the sense of lasting longer, being able to reach your full potential, this video is going to help. So let's dive into, can we do it? Can we bulletproof the body? Can we make it more resilient? Yes, we can. All right, guys, so how do we build this athlete to where aches and pains are minimalized, tweaks are minimalized, and we're able to reach our greatest potential? Well, the one phrase I love to say is more isn't always better, better is better. So what does better look like? Let's start off with number one, foundation. So the foundation of an athlete's movement, and this gets deeper than technique. Right? So from a non-conscious point of view, when you go to lift your arm, what muscles activate? That's the level of stuff we're looking at here, guys. And we need to make sure that the athlete's foundation is built well, that they're strengthened in the muscles that we want to turn on in certain, I guess you could say, movements. And one thing that can happen to us, guys, the body is miraculous. We can get an injury and, say we've hurt our leg, but we have to continue walking, right? It's just a little bit of a limp, if you will. Well, the body's miraculous in the sense it's going to figure out how to continue walking, right? And it's going to create a compensation pattern, so a way around this pain. And when it does that, that pattern can get stuck. And if it gets stuck, and that's how we're trying to generate force when we're walking, we're now creating inefficiencies and actually increasing the likelihood that we will feel pain at some point, right? So what we need to do is we need to assess the athlete, look at the movement pattern, and make corrections and strengthen those patterns if something is off. And this is exactly what we do here at Project Lift in our class called Vital Strength. And you can find out more about that and even check it out for free at the link above. So guys, we got to get into that foundation. That is step one of bulletproofing your body. All right, guys, number two, the second way that we can bulletproof your body is we need to look at the technique now. So now this is where, from an individual standpoint, how are you moving with your Olympic lifts? Snatch, clean and jerk, this comes important. So, okay, we've corrected the foundation, which means now we can maximize the technical work. And what I've found very fascinating over the years is when athletes reach out, I typically have a question somewhere that they answer around technique. And time again, athletes put in that their technique is okay, that it's something else, that they understand technique, that it's something else. And time again, when athletes come in, there's some technical corrections. So guys, even if you've had a coach, even if you've done this on your own, looking into the technique and seeing where are there possibilities for improvement. Just the other day, there was a new cue that I heard that made me think about technique in a different way. We're always learning, we're always growing. I believe we always have room to improve, right? So guys, we got to look at the technique, and we need to get you to the level where you're allowing the movement to help you with the load, right? And that is how we can really maximize our gains and keep our bodies bulletproof. All right, guys, let's talk about the third and final piece of bulletproof in our bodies, and that is planning, long-term planning, in fact. So another thing, athletes, they rarely can see past their current training program. And if you talk with athletes in the gym at times, it's like, okay, well, what's next? Well, I don't know. We'll see how these results were. Right? If you want to maximize your gains, you want a bulletproof body, we need to plan things in based on where you want to go. And I'm talking at minimum a year. At minimum a year, you're on a great side if you're looking at 3 to 5 years, right? That's where some serious maximized potential can come in, and you can be a bulletproof athlete, right? So there's an old adage, if we don't plan in rest, our body's going to give it to us in the form of an injury, right? Now, that can be seen at a very micro level when we're looking at a week. Okay, this is my rest day. Well, there's bigger cycles that we can work in there that allow us to maximize explosiveness, maximize muscle, keep our bodies healthy. There's all these things that we can do with that plan that allow athletes to maximize their gains and get them the results that they want, all while feeling great. So guys, we got to plan for the long term. Now, if this stuff confuses you, the foundation, the technical stuff, even planning, I'm still blown away by how many athletes come in and no one's ever sat down with them and talked about a training calendar, right? Then guys, get a coach. Right? It's exactly what we do here at Project Lift. If there's an area that I mentioned, I'd encourage you, check out Vital Strength. That's an area that we're really helping a lot of athletes with right now. If you want support from a technical standpoint, if you want support from a planning standpoint, reach out, guys. We'd love to support you. But these are the components, right? It is possible to bulletproof your body. It is possible to train with much fewer nagging pains and tweaks, because truth is, sometimes stuff happens. But in my honest opinion, that's used a little too much, in the sense of, instead of training better, coaches just shrug their shoulders and say, let's add on more volume. Come on, guys, let's train better. Let's get bulletproof. Let's reach our goals. Good luck to you, and I'll talk to you next week.